Well, this could be either really good or very dangerous. Let's begin. While the bigwigs in charge are aiming for a transport revolution, picture this: 38,000 shiny new jobs and a whopping £42 billion boost to the economy by 2035. But how? Well, by approving self-driving apparently and handing over the keys to these driverless vehicles. They reckon that since a staggering 88% of accidents are because of us humans aren't the best at driving apparently, it's time for the robots to take over the wheel. That's right, buses, grocery deliveries might soon be running around on their own. And of course, while some people say that these driving marvels could make your daily trip to work or score a piece of cake, you mean no more traffic jams or grumpy faces in the overcrowded buses. And of course, whilst being chauffeured to work in the shops and wherever else around the country you want to go does actually sound quite cool, there is obviously just one thing that I'm guessing won't be so cool and could actually end up being quite life-threatening to both yourself and of course other road users. And I'm not talking about my girlfriend, I am talking about maybe if one of these sensors of the cars relies on just, happens to fail, like so many things do nowadays, especially if you're driving along at about 70 miles an hour in the middle of a motorway. But hopefully of course you'd like to think that at least they might have used their collective brain to think of things like that and just have a whole host of backup sensors ready to kick in a split second to take over like superheroes, because otherwise, it could be as dangerous as, telling your girlfriend you've been on a night out to a strip club. But anyway, after a 4-year brainstorm by the Law Commission of England and Wales, they're about to lay down the law for companies, and if these firms fail to meet the standards, they might end up singing the blues with hefty fines and sanctions. And just get ready to watch the roads fill up with these futuristic machines, which obviously might make life easier and maybe a bit more exciting, but also might make the ambulance service just a little bit busier. But anyway, the article says that laws will be updated to ensure self-driving benefits can be fulfilled, with the Automated Vehicles Bill being brought in as part of the King's Speech. And it will make sure that only the driver, being either the vehicle or the person, is accountable. And this follows a 4-year review by the Law Commission of England and Wales, and firms could face financial penalties and sanctions if they fail to reach safety requirements. Well, I've got some bad news for people trying to milk the system for benefits, because they are about to have their bank accounts audited more than a hypochondriac checking their symptoms on Google. It's like the government is sending Sherlock Holmes to sniff out any fishy business, and the whole deal is to tighten up the belt on those claiming benefits while secretly hoarding more than £16,000 in the bank, which apparently is the cash cap for benefits, and they suspect nearly £1 billion is falsely pocketed each year by those playing sneaky games with the system. And guess what? The bigwigs reckon that this bank snooping might be like the superhero saving the day, potentially rescuing £500 million in the next 5 years. And of course, Mel Stride, the head of work and pensions, is on a mission. A kind of mission where the bad guys are those dodgy folks pretending that they're entitled to cash that isn't rightfully theirs. And rightly so, in my opinion. I'm just not sure that snooping through everyone's bank account is the right way to go about it. But hopefully this will tackle quite a lot of benefit fraud and save taxpayers money. And of course, people may say that it's an invasion of privacy, which whilst that may be the case, and for those genuine claimants who can't work for whatever reason, I certainly agree with them and get their point. However, for people who can work but choose not to and would rather rely on getting money out of the public purse that they're not even entitled to, then hopefully this means their days are numbered. And let's face it, at the end of the day, it is their choice whether to claim benefit or not. So if this eventually becomes one of the conditions in doing that, then it might make those people think twice. But as I'm sure most of the people claiming benefit are actually genuine, then I think it might make more sense, especially if they haven't been claiming benefit for long, to only have a look at their bank account when applying for benefit, and once every 6 or 12 months, or at a random time rather than every month, because let's face it, for genuine people, that is going to be a massive privacy concern. And actually as well may put people off claiming benefit who desperately need it because of that privacy concern. So whilst in my opinion something like that idea is quite good in catching the bad guys, it will end up affecting quite a lot of innocent people, and therefore I think it needs a little bit of tweaking. But anyway, the article says that Mel Stride, the Work and Pension Secretary, has made rooting out fraud in the benefit system one of his priorities since he took up the role last autumn. A government source said that every pound stolen by fraudsters could be spent on public services or go to those in need. Mel sees it as profoundly wrong, and benefit cheats aren't playing by the rules, and is determined to bring fairness to the taxpayer. Ministers are working on tightening criteria for work capacity assessments and for a different approach to issuing sick notes, with people being signed up for work ill and also markedly up since COVID. This saw on the number of people claiming out-of-work benefits hit 5.4 million, and which was obviously pushed up during the pandemic and nationwide lockdowns, but is yet to markedly drop down since restrictions have eased. Well, if you're enjoying the video so far, then why not click that subscribe button down there? But before you do, did you know that my subscribe button down there will only let awesome people subscribe? So why not click it and see if that's you? So picture this, the legendary post office has been around for around 360 years, and is suddenly deciding it's time to throw on a whole new approach. They're breaking out of their comfort zone and taking on a brand new role as the ultimate matchmaker for all things delivery related. And that is because for the very first time in their long history, because let's face it, they've been around since before Coronation Street, which at this moment of time must have been gone for about 200 years by itself. They've mainly been sticking to one choice for sending parcels, which is of course Royal Mail, but looks like Royal Mail's days might be numbered because the post office is now opening up their doors to parcel firms DPD and Every, and will be allowing you to send your parcels through them as well as Royal Mail. I mean, just imagine going into the post office, approaching the counter with a big grin and saying, actually I'd like to send this with DPD rather than good old Royal Mail. Or perhaps Every is your guy and you might say, can I do it for them? If it gets there. But let's face it, it's about time the post office has realised that there is more than one company for sending parcels. It just makes me wonder if they'll soon branch out to letters as well. Now you can send things through the post office. Although let's face it, I've got a feeling that'll be a long way down the line. I mean, maybe, who knows, the post office is probably aiming to be this #1 super spot where you can sip coffee and decide who delivers your special packages all in one go. Although let's face it, this is bound to hit Royal Mail quite hard, isn't it? So I'm guessing one of two things may happen. Either, they might put up the price for their stamps or other delivery options, which, face it, would only push more people towards the other companies, wouldn't it? So that doesn't really make much sense to do. So it may actually realise that their post office monopoly is over, and instead they might, just might, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but they actually might lower their prices to something which in my opinion isn't a pea-taking level. But then again, of course, pigs may fly. But anyway, the article says that Neil O'Sullivan, the managing director of parcels and mails at the post office, said, Post Office is innovating to meeting changing customer preferences and the increasingly competitive market. Our goal is to deliver unparalleled access to parcel services, addressing the needs of businesses and retail customers, both now and in the future. And he added, our new buy and branch service reflects how Post Office has adapted as a business to ensure our customers have access to multiple delivery carriers and services conveniently in their local post office. It's very exciting to have major partners such as DPD and Every as our launch partners for this new service, which will be rolled out across branches over the coming months. But of course it doesn't end there, does it? Because if you think that bank account change was quite an invasion of privacy, just wait until you see this video, because your home could be next.